Okay. I'm so happy that you're here because you need to stop acting as if your dream is an if. It is not an if, it is a certainty. It's not a maybe it will happen. I hope that it happens. How can I know that for sure it will happen? Do I see some evidence? Have you ever wanted something so much that it actually hurts because you want it that badly, but you don't have it, so you actually feel pain? Yeah, that's because of one factor, and it's your default program. It's rooted in insecurity, doubt, frustration, uncertainty. We want to change that default so that you default to security no matter what. If you can build your secure attachment, I'm telling you, your wealth, your health, your relationships, everything is going to transform. And I don't just mean secure attachment styles and love. I mean security in who you are, your power, your confidence, what you're capable of having and doing and being. Once you get there, you get everything that it is that you want. And I know this because that's been my experience. All we have to do, and all I'm passionate about doing, is changing your default to security. My name is Jenna. When I talk about your default program, what I'm talking about is that self-limiting belief system. You have a thermostat that's in you. And basically what I mean by that is you have a set point. So yes, you'll go above and below that set point in different moments of your day, but you're always going to come back to what your default is set to. And if that is disbelief, you're coming back to disbelief and you're not getting what it is that you want quickly or with ease. And that's exhausting. That's why you keep second guessing. Can I really have this? Is this really meant for me? How do I make this happen? How? The when? The what? That's not your job. That's you still coming from this energy of, I hope it happens. Wow, if it will happen, I'll just be able to breathe once I get it. No, we're not doing that. Your dream is not an if. It's not, it's a certainty. It's inevitability. If you are listening to any one of my videos and you resonated with even 10% of it, it's because on some level you know this. And you are destined for so much more than what you have right now. And that's what I'm committed to making sure you understand. So, are you ready? How do we change from this if to a when? Your dream has never been an if. It's never been an if. It's always been a when. So whatever it is that's heavy on your heart, that you are just so passionate about, that you are just craving so much, the fact that you can say, I have this desire, is proof that it's meant for you. Because what you want, it's not what I want. What I want is personal to me. Why is it personal to me? Because I have my own intuitive system. I came here on this planet to experience whatever I'm supposed to experience. You're supposed to experience whatever you're supposed to experience. That doesn't matter what I believe or what I'm doing. It matters what you believe and what you're doing. What matters to you? So someone might say that they want to be a professional chef. That's not in my cards because that doesn't jive for me. But if it did, that would mean that it's in my pathway. So you have something in you. You have a soul desire that you're craving. And it's destined for you, or else you wouldn't have that craving. You understand? You know when your body craves certain foods, you're like, why am I craving sweet potato right now? It's literally because your body's saying there's something in that sweet potato. There's a nutrient in that sweet potato that's going to help your body thrive. So that's why you start craving it. And sometimes we crave sugar, but it's just really because our blood sugar's off. Our body's always trying to serve us and help us. Our mind is the same way. So you're getting these callings because those cravings, because it's meant to nourish your life. Your soul needs this for whatever reason. So let's take love for an example. I was just working with a client, okay? And she really wants to get married. Really, 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 really wants to get married. So she became a member of the default program. And in her euphoric vision, which we always go through in week 2, she was telling me where she wanted to go, what she was craving, what she wanted. And she was with a person right now. And that person is an avoidant. So he's committed to her just enough to keep her hopeful, but won't commit fully to her to actually have a full-on relationship. So he says things and he does things that wheel her back in, bring her back in, and then he just ghosts her and doesn't make future plans, but then talks about maybe he will, and then comes back and he pulls it on and pours it on and loves her well, and it's just this continuous cycle. Maybe you know something about it, okay? But her desire, her euphoric vision, is that she gets married. and his behavior doesn't line up with what her euphoric vision is. So she's entertaining unavailable men, even though her euphoric vision is to be in a committed relationship. That doesn't line up. So that's why you're sitting here going, if this works out, no, it's not an if, it's a certainty. So we got to go back to rebuild your default so that it falls in alignment with your euphoric vision. So you stop being available for unavailable men or unavailable whatever it is, right? I'm speaking on this specific person. It's a male-female relationship. This can go for anyone. Okay, insert any goal that you have into this scenario. So I'm giving you a demonstration through hers, but we could go through yours. Just put it in the comments and I will create a video on it. This is what she was dealing with. So she was going to give up her dream for her contentment with whatever this relationship was. No, 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 no. That's why you're uncertain. That's why you're craving something, some security, because you haven't found that security in yourself. You're going to the outside world to go get the security before it's actually been lined up for you. It's like when you're buying a house and you put an offer into this house, you even go above the offer and you still don't get that house and you think, why? Why didn't I get it? And then a month later, you actually end up with a house that is your dream home. The reason it didn't line up for you is because that wasn't your home, but this one was. In the same way, this relationship, it might not be your forever home, but the next one is. But you keep clinging to what you are having right now because you think, I don't know what else will come in. You have such shortage consciousness. You are so fixated on reality and what you think is possible. We're here to defy all logic beyond what you think. How, when, where, none of that is your job. We got to let go of you being in control and let the universe come and help you. How do we do that? We change our default to be in alignment with what we want so we stop settling for breadcrumbs. The worst thing that you can do is have a desire and then decide to give up on it when it's your soul's calling. That's when you hit depression. That's when you hit anger and frustration and you can't get out of these cycles, out of these funks. So that's why I'm here, because your dream is not an if, it's a when, but we have to commit to it. So just like this client who is going to entertain this relationship, no, I'm sorry, it doesn't align up with your euphoric vision, so it doesn't belong in you are no longer available for breadcrumbs. So instead of going to him and having this conversation, because she had conversations with him in the past, what she did instead was she let him be. Just let him not commit and let it be okay. And instead of trying to change his behavior, she started to change her behavior. When you are going for your dream, instead of trying to change your outside circumstances, we got to change you first. Don't try to go get the goal yet. The goal is coming. It's guaranteed. It's done. It's not an if, it's a when. It's already done. Do you hear this? I know I'm harping on it. I know I'm repeating myself over and over, but it's just because I really need your subconscious mind to really get on board with this. Because consciously you're on board, but subconsciously your default program is still lagging, or else you'd already have what it is that you want. So I'm repeating just so that we can calm your nervous system to really understand you're safe here. You get what you want here. We just have to do this work. So for her, she didn't go have a conversation with him. She focused on her behavior. She became secure in what she wanted and so secure in her power, in her radical self-confidence, that he started to change to meet her. When she stopped being available for his uncertainty, he became very certain very quickly and started to choose her. Before, he was just using her as a convenience. But in her euphoric vision, she had written there, and I had highlighted, I want to be chosen. Then why are you with someone who's not choosing you? Why are you settling for that? Because your logic says that this is as good as it's going to get. What if it doesn't get better? I'd rather have this than nothing. That's not how we do it here. So you need to take a really, really hard look at what it is that you desire and what you're putting up with, even in finances. If you're not getting the finances that you want, it's not because the outside world isn't giving it to you. The universe wants to rush in. Those finances want to rush in. It's because you're not secure in your ability to receive it. You're not secure in your ability, your capability, your desirability, your worthiness, your deservability. Until you work on that, you're going to block it every single time. It's your default system. I'm telling you, that's the only thing. From there, inspired action will come. So I'm not saying never take action. You will get inspired action. But we have to line up that energy first, because that's the only piece that matters. So why? Why does that? How? If you study quantum physics at all, you will see that everything in the universe is energy. Everything came out of energy. Everything is energy. And I know maybe you don't resonate with that word. So let's break it down. When you look out into the universe, you're not actually seeing the universe. You're not seeing reality in front of you. You are seeing your brain's interpretation of it. So my background is neuroscience. So I'm just going to go into that from what I know. And what happens is you look outside and your optic nerve is going to translate. It's going to see the light and shape. And it's going to bring the light and the shape into your optic nerve to your chemical system, where your neurological system is going to tell your brain what you just saw. Your brain is now going to interpret a story. Then it's going to bring in your other senses. What do you see? What do you feel? What do you taste? What do you touch? And in that, it formulates its own understanding of the reality that you're experiencing. So you only experience the reality that your mind has created. Do you follow? This is why it's so important to change your default, and why you're trying to chase a dream without chasing your default, and why that keeps failing for you, because we're missing the neuroscience part of it. So it's not just manifest, poof, it comes. It's rewiring. It's brain hacking. It's really getting yourself in alignment. So that's why I keep coming on here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, because we have to work with your neurological system, your brain's wiring, not someone else's, because your brain is uniquely yours. That's why the experience that you're having right now is uniquely yours, because you're interpreting your reality differently than I would. I wouldn't interpret your reality the same way, because I have different experiences. My optic nerve is going to look at it differently. Look at depth perception. There are people in the world that don't have depth perception. So what happens with their brain isn't rendering that. So that's why they run into walls. But you don't run into walls, because your mind is wired differently and able to render the depth perception it sees. You follow? So you're brilliant, but you're unique. And you gotta stop teaching and stop accepting and stop treating yourself like you're a cookie cutter. Because you're different. You're unique. You have a soul's calling that's different than everybody else's. Yeah, at the end of the day, we all want money, love, and health. Okay, yeah, maybe that's the truth, the foundation. But how and what that is for you specifically is different. So it's not an if, it's a when for you. Because you wouldn't have these desires, because they're uniquely yours, if it didn't matter to you. And it does. I know this is a long journey. So what is the end of the day? What's the strategy? The strategy is that you understand that it's not an if. We get rid of that. It becomes a when the moment you understand, I have this dream because I'm chosen. I'm chosen to hold it. I'm chosen for this life path. I'm chosen. Not because someone else deemed it important, but because you are chosen. You are here on this earth because you're chosen. You're one of the greater whole, and your success impacts the success of the whole. So you getting what it is that you want is important to all of us, because it helps all of us. We're all so interconnected. So when it comes to your specific desire today, here's what I want you to do. Anytime you question, is it coming? Is this possible for me? I want you to come back to this one mantra. It's not an if, so let go of my doubt. It's not an if, so I can let go of my anxiety. It's not an if. Remind your nervous system, it's not an if. And then when you relax into this, it's not an if, you step into some security. And when you get secure in what it is that you want, intuitive hits will come. That's when you get the impulses to take action. That's when you get excited or passionate or joyful or even just feel calm for a moment. That's you in alignment with what it is that you want. The minute that you're in alignment, the universe rushes in because you get whatever it is that you want. It's not this hard, I promise. It's so easy. Just remind yourself today, it's not an if. It's not an if. I don't have to panic right now because it's not an if. I don't have to worry about the evidence in front of me right now because it's not an if. You get what it is that you want. Okay? I'll see you in the next video.